Welcome to the arena.
Welcome to the Championship Series 2. It is the another 32 player character bracket in which our characters are matching up randomly against each other, and us combined with the community are advancing them to a final four in which we're going to declare a year champion from our characters. Here's Josh Calloway, the artist, Brandon Dodziak. Can I say it like that?
You can say it like that. It doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, but I like kind of like his name is so cool. So Brandon, Randy Van Gelder, and we're here to continue this on. So first bracket we ran last week. It was about a 7-day event, something like that. It came down to two of our characters, Advancia and Echo Strike. And so, how'd you feel the finals went?
It was an interesting matchup. I mean, I personally voted for Echo. I just think with that rifle, Advancia just didn't really have a chance. He's just too.
He heard us talking in the other room. There's no way. I think he wanted to prove that he could vote against Advancia. I think he went against her. As I said to Josh Wilson, I said that he loved Advancia so much that he had to let her go. I mean, it was like that one thing he knew that Echo Strike had overpowered her.
Shadow Cell, born and bred.
We heard him close his door, and I think I heard whimpering, but I'm not sure. I tend to agree with him on that. What do you think?
I agree that Echo Strike, I think, would have pulled it out as a trained and veteran soldier.
Yep.
He would have.
And I have always wondered about his the front piece of his helmet. Okay, I feel like it has a way for him
He's
to
got all kinds of advanced
but it could
tech,
think about it. Advancia has like mind control and power over physical telekinesis, right?
Right.
So what if that helmet was actually a deflector against that kind of invasion?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always thought that it's so much going on that. So anyway, he won. Congratulations, Echo Strike. He will advance to the final four. So without further ado, let's get started on today's Championship Series 2 matchups. And here we go. You can see the matchups on the left. I won't go through each to start. We'll just go one by one. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get started. Bracket number one, we have the Dark Angel versus Cobalt. Dark Angel is part of Dawnlight. Cobalt is an Alpha Guard. And so in this matchup...
Tough one.
Both are pretty advanced. Dark Angel's one of the kind of few kill-focused Dawnlight cards. You know, like actually designed for combat.
True. It's a great name too.
I would vote Dark Angel on this one.
It's just difficult. Again, I think Dark Angel, I agree with you in much of that. I think Dark Angel has a lot of skills. I just really think that Cobalt has a mentality, has a new style. He's a new style, kind of hybrid Echo, human-esque kind of soldier.
He's a little bit prototypey in the sense that.
True, he is.
There's a random nature to his abilities.
But he controls the law enforcers. He has power over a community.
Powerful. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with him simply because of that. I do think the Dark Angel could easily win. This is a toss-up, but I'll go Cobalt. Leave it to Brandon.
Where's that die? I'm just going to I think I might have to give it to Dark Angel because of her ability to fly would give her advantage.
Oh, yeah, that was one thing I thought too, was the wings.
All right.
I could give her
like I said, I'm not going to get upset at that one. I think it's a toss-up. I think Cobalt deserved at least one of 3 votes.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a interesting matchup: the old versus the young in a compromiser calm fire battle. We have we basically have a good matchup of 2 different skill sets. Calm fire is controlling kind of a green flame.
Yeah.
But she can protect, whereas you look over at Compromiser. Well, he can kill two powerful characters, or he could strike out. He
Right.
also has a cat.
He has a cat. I think I'm gonna side with the cat on this one, just because of the cat.
I mean, that could be a tiebreaker.
You good? Like the cat's a wild card.
You don't know what it'll do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Calmfire. I think in a battle, I think she might win out.
I think today, since I'm repping Razor Core, and I got to go for the older guy, he's a wily veteran. This guy is both a skilled master negotiator as well as a killer. And Calmfire's got the defense, but I'm going with offense anytime. So, Compromiser, you're through, buddy.
All right.
Miser wins.
Next matchup, we have a very, very, very difficult one to decide.
You say that too, by the way. You said the compromiser, you're through. It sounds like you're done with.
Well,
You made it through.
He made it through, but on the way out, he had a heart attack. So we got a Scarecrow, Saint Vicious. I really think this one's difficult. Saint Vicious is one of the most powerful characters in all of City of Novus. He's got both missiles and he's got firepower. He's got jet engines. He is a really great legendary character. The Scarecrow, on the other hand, is an unknown. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
People can't look directly at him. No one really knows exactly what he looks like, and
Could be deadly, yeah.
and his skill set doesn't require anything becoming an ally in the game.
Right.
On top of that, so Saint Vicious doesn't have. If I don't use the rules usually, but in this case, what Saint Vicious does game-wise wouldn't even affect Scarecrow at all.
Right.
So there is that little piece, but Saint Vicious is great. So Brandon, why don't you start with this time?
I think based on some of the information we got from the book, I'm gonna have to go with Saint Vicious.
So he's speaking about the novel. Are we allowed to say the name yet?
Let's keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
All right, we can't
just
say it
in
yet.
case.
We won't say it just in case. But the novel is about to go into editing, and it has a release date of March 2020, and soon we'll announce it. Maybe on our next broadcast when we ask the publisher if we can do that yet. Saint Vicious, I would also say, would probably get my vote. But in this case, I'm going to side with Scarecrow.
Going Razor Core again.
Razor Core again, just not because I want to do it, but because I want to make Josh force the vote. I honestly have to do that.
So I'm gonna roll the
dice.
faction
So we have some faction dice here for if you can't make a decision.
Because this is tough.
First one to come up, he doesn't get either. Second one to come up, he gets
Doesn't
neither.
either.
And the third one comes up, and he
Wow.
continues to do it. So a Razor Core.
And Dawn Light.
And Dawn Light.
It's a push.
It's a push again. All right, so
I'm gonna side with Razor and go with
wow.
Scarecrow.
Okay.
All right.
I
didn't think he was going that way. But
It was a tough decision, but I think, yeah, Dawn Light Saint Vicious had some cool technology, but Scarecrow seems deadly. Like he's an unknown,
yeah.
and I would even imagine like most of a Razor Corp is probably afraid of him. Too.
I would think
or
so.
at least
I'm afraid of
intimidated
him.
by him.
I'm
Yeah.
really afraid. I like him, but I don't want to be in the same room.
Right.
All right, next up, we got an Omega Countervail matchup. Oh, this one's really tough.
Yeah.
Wow. They're about equal to me.
Yeah.
I'll go first this time so that I can hear two. You know what? I'm going to go Omega on this one. And Countervail really could do it, but Omega's... I really never understood the hammer she has. It's so big and powerful, and it's hard to tell if it's a hammer, if it's but it seems to me she's almost goddess-like. She's got electrical things coming out of her
mechanical
back.
arms is what it
Right.
was.
Arms.
Yeah.
I'm just, she doesn't, even this, and if I was to pick a new skin, I'd want to see what Omega looks like from a different angle. Because Omega's got,
She's got some cool equipment.
she's got
and
cool tech.
Yeah.
Countervail seems like a perfectly awesome Shadow Cell guy with a tremendous range and a deadly weapon, and I'm going Omega.
I think I'm gonna side with you. Yeah, Omega. It's
Okay.
like for all the same reasons. I think she could, with her abilities and that hammer, probably even stop some of Countervail's bullets or
Depending on
projectiles.
how thick it is.
Yeah.
And she must have some sort of body armor too. I mean, you can see
Possibly,
it.
yeah.
Something.
I mean, she
there.
is.
All right,
wearing
then I'll
armor.
give a point to Countervail because he's my go-to guy in Shadow Cell.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad I didn't let him go first. I might have swayed it otherwise. All right. So next up, we've got a matchup of Raven and Risk.
Ooh.
The R's with 6 letters. I mean, I don't think we could have gotten a better random matchup
Yeah.
than exactly those two.
Yeah.
Ooh. You can't side with the Raven this time. You already went with the cat.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, I
like Ravens.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty hardcore Risk right now. She's brutal. Like she essentially just kills.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
That's what she's all about. So.
So I would have to give it to Risk on this matchup.
I will go Raven predominantly because I think her control over Ravens is pretty strong. And while Risk is going after her, the Raven's just going to come and dive bomb her into the back of the neck and she's done.
They're just gonna catch on fire, man.
Yeah.
They're just gonna.
I said dive bomb.
Burst
It's
into-
it's a suicide bomber. I mean, or dive bomber, suicide diver. What are they called? The
Kamikaze.
Kamikazes. That's the ones.
Kamikaze
You
Raven.
can, probably said so many things that were politically incorrect, and that's the whole statement. But anyway, I'll go Raven on that, and because I don't know, she's awesome. She's got great eye makeup. But really, they both do in general. I think they're awesome. So
Yeah.
I like both of them.
And then
Risk
I'm gonna
is
give it to
nice.
Risk because she's a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
Oof. I can't fault that one either. These are hard matchups actually
Right.
today, but they're also either one could win matchups. So I haven't seen one yet.
We haven't had a 3-0.
Ooh.
How about a metal bone obsidian? Wow.
Yeah.
That's man, these are about the toughest matchups I've seen.
What elements is Obsidian controlling?
So Obsidian is doing fire and water. So he has really control over the afterlife and killing. He's got a lot of power. He's kind of a. I think he has a robotic beard too.
He does have a robotic
I,
beard.
okay,
I
I
don't
just
e-
thought it was armored. No,
Something
Or it could
or
be
armor.
armored beard.
Metal Bone, however, has laser beams, and he is kind of like not a human character. So it's one of our rare characters that is kind of a metal dog with lasers coming out
not
of his eyes.
humanoid.
Big, sharp teeth. He can eat obsidian.
You could, but why don't you take it off?
You want me to?
Yeah.
All right,
Who'd you choose?
I'll take it off.
Sorry,
I have to look at the
choice.
cards. I mean, these are difficult. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'm going Metal Bone. I'm going
really?
Metal Bone. I was gonna go Obsidian until I just took one more scary look at Metal Bone. And Metal Bone was one that you and I worked on a lot together. That particular card, we wanted it to be exactly a certain way, and I remember we were working on the legs a lot. Obsidian, you know, you really had your concept for Obsidian, but I remember you and I kind of piecing together the Metal Bones.
And Metal
So-
Bone it's a metal dog, metal canine.
Yes.
And so
We went cat, I
unpredictable,
went-
no control.
I went cat, I went Raven, and now I'm going Bone. All right.
I think I give it to Metal Bone because I'm not sure what
Really?
Obsidian.
Wow,
I'm not sure what
really?
Obsidian has to stop him from a
man.
distance because
Those
Metal
laser
Bone can
beams.
attack from a distance and can
It's
charge
the thing
him.
is they're both kill cards.
They are. They're
And
both kill
who
cards
can
to
kill
me.
quick if they're both killing? Like
Yeah.
if Metal Bone was more like a non-animus and not a killer, I might go that direction because he would have more of an even match. But I think there's some sort of distance. How big is Metal Bone too? Do we
Yeah,
really know?
I would say from the lore, he'd be like a direwolf size. You know, like small pony, or a pony, which is a small.
That's right.
Oh, had I known that, I might have gone
Yeah,
Obsidian.
mini
Yeah.
horse. But I think based on my kind of initial concept or original concept of Obsidian, he has firepower, but it's more like what would be molten. You know, it's like it's even hotter and more intense than what Risk would have. And that's where he gets his.
Oh,
kind
you
of
should have
kill
gone
potential for.
first.
And he
Yeah.
That's
he also has control of the afterlife.
Yeah.
Potentially just raise himself or heal himself.
I don't think he can do that.
Um,
He's not that strong on the afterlife side.
and you never know. He may be
He can
to
bring
stop the lasers.
He can
with
bring
his
him back
abilities.
stronger.
If
than
I
they
knew
were,
that,
though.
as the lore expands, I might change my vote. But
I would vote for Obsidian.
of course he would, and we should have as well, probably. But
We'll give it to Metal.
we'll give it to Metalbone. We went that way. You never know what we're gonna
Mhm.
do. I mean, I did. I thought I was gonna go Obsidian until the last minute. So, Silent Wave and Arrow Voltero. Now, Silent Wave is a killer. She doesn't hurt. She's got a close-up, one of our rare close-up characters. I've always loved that card. But what's funny is I've always loved the Arrow Voltero card. So I think in both cases, I've loved those two cards individually and the art. But I'll let you
It's
go.
interesting because they're both. She's kind of a killer per the mechanic, but the idea that she could kind of send out a wave or affect the air, and he has power over the wind would be an interesting matchup.
Based
Yeah.
on his imagery and what you imagine of him, he also is very fast.
right,
And he's
right.
moving through that, so her wave capability might not be able to affect him as another character she would probably win against. So I would go Arrow Voltero simply because of that particular skill matchup.
Right.
To me,
Yeah.
I think I have to go with Arrow Voltero as well, because he's just so fast.
Yeah. As much as I want to vote for Silent Wave, I think Voltura.
And I've always, you know how much I've loved that piece of art. So it's hard to vote against it, but sometimes you have to look at the matchup. You have to see what their skill sets, and we're looking at that. Really, we look at the rule, but we're not making a decision on the rule. But sometimes that rule can be a tiebreaker. But in this case, it's purely about what they do as a power. All right. So next up, we have a nice matchup of Absorption against the Recruiter.
Ooh. I would vote for Absorption pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the Recruiter has some capabilities to
He's
bring
one
in
of my,
reinforcements.
one of my
but
favorite cards, though.
But-
Rule-wise.
I just think
But in an arena,
Yeah, I'm
in
looking at
I
Arena.
think Absorption would just have more capabilities. So I would vote for
I
her.
agree with Josh.
I also agree. I'm going against the Recruiter. I don't know why. Sorry. But I also actually like the Absorption art. I think she's...
Yeah, I like both pieces
She's
of
a
art,
she's
yeah.
a beautiful concept, and I remember we were really talked a lot about the hair and the power in her hair, in her follicles. Remember, like, the energy?
Kind of.
We
Remind
had
me.
the first Absorption had that really, like, electric hair.
Right, okay.
And so I feel like she's got energy flowing through her where she can bring it into her. So she has
Right.
this distance power to take the essence of the Recruiter into her. You know, something like that, or pull power absorb energy from other people. So,
Yeah,
and he
I mean, that's
seems
what
to
she
have an
does, yeah.
energy capability of mind control or something with his staff. You know, something he's recruiting people.
Right, but she could counter that by absorbing it all.
Exactly. And so I'm in agreement. That's a 3-0. So this time we have a blue burn, Brute Sparrow. She controls, Brute Sparrow's Edge Hunter, she controls the wind and water. So she's able to move things around, bring people back from the afterlife. She's got some capabilities. Blueburn has a very unique ability, one most unique in all of the game. This real power to kind of take, not only see what powers someone has, but decide all in an instant which of those powers he wants to take on and maximize. So, and immediately gets to fight back with it. So he's got some, I mean, and if there's an art I'd like to redo is Blueburn too, because I think it's one of our first ones. Not that I don't like it. It's just that I could imagine his art really expanding. So, and Brute Sparrow, you know, she floats above the clouds. She can fly. She's fast. But Blueburn can just...
I would vote for Blueburn too.
Yeah, I'll give it a Blueburn.
We got 3-0 again.
Yeah.
He
Why?
was overpowered.
Because, well, like you said, if she can fly, then he can just take that and fly her up in the sky.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
mine.
he's Blueburn gets it.
Similar to Absorption, yeah. Ooh.
We got a wonderful matchup between the Gray Shepherd and Particon. I'm not going to even let anyone take on my Gray Shepherd. That's my favorite piece of art. The Gray Shepherd has, in an arena battle, Particon might be better. I can't really tell. But the Gray Shepherd just has so much power. He can bring people to his will. He can, if someone dies, he can control where that soul goes. He has the ability to literally pick and choose the people that he wants.
He's got a sweet staff too.
The staff is incredible. So I'm gonna go the Gray Shepherd and not look back. Particon, if you want to talk a little bit about what Particon's made of, his history is kind of interesting.
I think in this matchup, as much as I would want to vote for the Gray Shepherd, I would vote for Particon, because he's an Echo. There may be, and that would be interesting to kind of think about, that might counter the Gray Shepherd's control over the afterlife, as he maybe not have a soul, or does have a soul in the lore as an Echo.
What about that rule though? So Particon deduces values from players. He takes he reduces an entire group's energy, whereas the Gray Shepherd can bring a whole group back.
Yeah, but also based on just kind of the artwork, I think Particon also has some.
I do like the artwork on
technical. He's got some actual instruments and tools rigged all over.
Well,
his
he was
body,
pieced
designed
together over many years of all types of parts that were just scraps discarded. And
He's
so
a scrapper.
he has a very
He's very scrappy.
and he's very I don't think he's very happy about that.
No.
Yeah.
So
He's very much a tortured soul. If he
yeah, I mean he's great. The Gray Shepherd deserves to get to a second round matchup, but Brandon, you get to make the call.
Yeah.
I think I have to give it to Particon because neither of them are really built for fighting. But if it comes down to
legendary edge hunters. So it comes
You
down
got
to it. What?
something against senior citizens.
yes, that's exactly right. They can't fight anymore.
Only one guy per round, so compromisers through. Goodbye, Gray Shepherd.
Right?
Anyway, you're finishing your statement.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I think what I was saying is that neither of them are really, built for fighting. So if they have to fight, I'm giving it to the Echo.
I think Josh would have taken his vote back and put it to the Gray Shepherd had he had a chance. If he had known Brandon was going that direction. That's what my.
Well, he could change his
true feeling.
vote if he wants
can't
to.
change it.
No,
He's
no,
done.
I'll change my
Particon,
vote.
we're just killing the Edge Hunter legendaries. So will another legendary go down in the Dead Speak versus Divinity matchup? You go. Brendan's got to go first. Dead Speak versus Divinity. Divinity has an incredible sword. She can take down people right and left. But Dead Speak can literally control the afterlife and then go after you again. He's got one of the rare skills of almost getting two powers in one maneuver.
Yeah.
And he is. I'm not sure. I've never known exactly what Dead Speak is.
I don't think most people do.
No,
they
would
know.
want to know.
I mean, but the thing is with Dead Speak, boy, I'm again looking at the art. I think both of these I'd like to see what they look like in another piece. But Dead Speak particularly, he is actually in another piece called Manipulator.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's an awesome image. So Dead Speak could use some, I want to see more of him. So I'm good. Oh.
Well, yeah.
Which way are you leaning?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you finish your sentence?
Sorry, I didn't mean to vote for them.
I think I'm gonna go with Dead Speak because it looks like he has some power with like electricity or lightning, and I think he can very utilize that.
He'd be great at a rock concert.
Yeah.
Definitely metalhead.
You're going that way.
I think so too. I feel like Dead Speak has a little bit of a persona of like a classic horror monster, like a Freddy Krueger or Jason capability, where it's just like, dude, how do you keep coming back alive?
Yes, and the name is really nice, actually.
Yeah.
I've always loved his name. So Dead Speak is through. Bringing up a matchup between the lovely Silverblade and the lovely Phobia. Although I'm just kidding about the lovely Phobia part. Phobia is a sick bastard. But Silverblade is fast and great with daggers. she kind of seems like someone that could survive in a zombie apocalypse, and he looks like a bit of a zombie.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That's a good point. Yeah. She might be
Yeah.
designed actually to take something like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is kind of even in rules.
I really think she might be the one.
I would vote for Silverblade on this one.
I agree with
I
that.
think
yeah.
we're all. I can't
Yeah.
believe that. You know how much I like the phobia card, but
He's not much of a fighter.
this
It
is the
doesn't
worst.
seem-
But it's the worst matchup for him. Really, really. She can
Yeah.
get rid of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
round effect, the lasting effect. She can remove. As a rule, he is the closest thing I think we have in except for maybe Scarecrow, but he's not to a kind of player that could look like a zombie. Maybe
Right.
Ghost Cipher for Shadow Cell.
Yeah.
A little bit, but he's the closest to that, and she's the closest to one that would kill one.
To be a zombie killer.
I mean, my God, it's the worst matchup ever. All right, Silverblade, congrats. Ooh, Messenger versus Andromeda. Wow.
Well, to talk about kind of powers and abilities a little bit, the messenger has a lot of control to naturally manipulate kind of the hollow net, the dark web as you were, and kind of technological. She's technologically adept. You know, it's built into her actual headdress design, which is kind of like, I would imagine, actually embedded into the back of her skull. You know,
Probably,
she's a
could be.
legendary Dawn Light character.
So she's
so
got. It's
fully
almost like
committed.
antennas on top of her. You know, maximizing her brain power.
Right. Yeah. Allowing her to like key in just at will.
Yeah.
Andromeda, on the other hand, has
Is an echo.
Yeah, and she's got, as all echoes, great power. One of the rare beauties of Cloud Echo, you know, a beautiful model. And I
about
mean
Dark
model
Matrix,
like
though?
model version 3.2, not like a supermodel. But the point is, I think she's, you know, anytime you take on an Echo, you're taking on a
Yeah.
battle.
Someone, and especially someone who can control the afterlife as well. You know, she's one of the few that controls the afterlife.
So what's our verdict on this?
This is tough. Yeah.
I mean, I know what I'm doing, but you can probably guess why. What am I doing? Tell me what I'm doing.
Tell me what.
I think you're gonna vote for Andromeda.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Good try.
He's always loved the messenger.
Because
Yeah,
I was gonna
man,
vote
come
for
on,
the
man.
messenger.
No. I'm going Messenger all day long. You
Yeah.
know that it's like my favorite
Yeah.
character. I love her. Not in love, just love.
Well, I mean, I would argue.
And then it's the same with you in Advanced.
Yeah. Now, Messenger Advancia battle might be interesting,
That
but
would be-
that'll never happen. So
That'd be
let's
super
go.
cool.
I think I might give it to Andromeda,
Yeah.
only that Messenger doesn't have any sort of weapon to fight against her. It's going to be a fist fight between the two.
Maybe, but maybe that little mind controls all
Well,
the
she can
echo
kind of smack her with
parts.
the headpiece.
Yeah. Well, either way, Messenger might not
Whatever
get
with
past
the
the next
horns.
round, but I will tell you, at least
Wait,
this
so where
round,
did Josh go?
he went Messenger.
Okay.
Yeah, I voted messenger.
We've got a nice battle of the C words with the
Whoa.
same number of letters, I think. Is that possible? That's 7? 7. We had 2 R words with 6 letters and 2 C words with 7 letters. I know that's
Dead
strange.
Speak in Divinity.
Mm-hmm. Dead Speak and Divinity, yeah.
Is that the same number of letters too? Not impossible.
No.
Starts with the same letter.
Go ahead, though. Start.
So looking at this matchup, this would be a challenge. I think Chain has definitely some brawling capabilities. He has this kind of magical whip of a chain that he can utilize to either grab things or I would imagine like overpower and shock them or use some kind of power to decimate his opponents. But he's facing off against Cyclone, who's probably like a
Huge warbot.
15, 16 foot warbot, yeah. With rocket launchers and some kind of massive eye laser scanner, maybe a projectile laser beam from the eye as well. But it's not in the artwork, so it's not
We don't know
canon
for
yet.
sure.
Yeah, we don't know for sure his full capabilities.
So,
That's a tough one.
what's the vote?
Both heavy kills.
I'm gonna vote for Chained.
Okay.
I think he would be quick enough, and he's got enough tech to.
Well, those chains on those legs of the Cyclone might be
Yeah,
very.
Cyclone's
That's what I
pretty
was
mechanical,
thinking.
you know.
That's what I was thinking.
Cyclone would be a hard matchup for anybody, but
Right.
maybe Chain has that capability. Obviously he controls these long whips.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if there was ever a matchup
He's got some
that
range.
that a guy could really disrupt Cyclone, right?
Mhm.
That might be the one.
Yeah, if he
you
can
know?
evade the missiles and then throw the chain and
You know,
pull
you
him,
Yeah,
so he
exactly.
falls down.
Well, put like Messenger. Put Cyclone against the last two.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
Cyclone would
win.
win.
As a messenger, yeah.
And against a lot of these one-on-one players, like I would probably take Cyclone against Rebecca Rose even, because again, Cyclone has the distance and they're both kind of
Right.
direct fighters.
Unless
But
her blade
he
was
has
moving.
something that they don't have, and that's the ability to wrap these chains around and kind of brace the legs, make the Cyclone fall over.
If
You
he's
know?
quick enough.
Yeah, if he can evade the missile.
Well,
Yeah, if he could
obviously,
evade
if
the
he's
missiles.
using these chains, he's got to be pretty
He
fast.
could wrap around one of the missiles and
That's what I'm
target it.
saying.
That,
If-
or if he just smacks him out of the air, it causes them to explode.
I want to
in the
see
air.
him do that, so I'm going to give him the win.
We need some animators. That's
Yeah.
why.
Now that we have these chains, and I'm curious where they're going to go in the next matchups.
Mm-hmm.
That's also, can the chains continue? Can the chains win? So I'm going chained.
Chain, yeah.
Chain
All right,
wins
a
it.
3-0.
Yeah, sweep.
Nice sweep. I would not have guessed that would have been
Yeah.
a sweep, actually, looking at that matchup just on paper.
Yeah.
Until I'm staring at the two cards and
Really
imagining
thinking about the
Yeah.
battle
the
between
battle?
them.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So we've got a Zone Wraith Ghost Cipher.
Ooh.
Both spirits.
See, Zone Wraith has control over the afterlife. He's got a pretty massive rifle.
Yeah.
And
It's like kind of superheated.
it's massive and it's steam powered,
Yeah.
I believe, because he controls that water. So
Right,
it's
right.
burning people with hot steam, as I imagine it.
Just
Yeah.
like powerful super soaker.
Yeah, it's a super soaker. It's pretty much what I imagine Zone Wraith doing. I mean,
Yeah.
there
It's
are
a-
steam coming from it.
Instant third-degree burn.
Exactly, and it can kill. It's so hot. It's got the power of the sun almost in
Although
water. Yeah.
in Ghost Cypher's art, he's kind of in fire, is he not?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Could a super soaker take out the fire guy?
If it's hot enough, yeah, I
You
don't
know what though? I'm gonna say this. Zone Wraith artistically is obviously, for me, it is really beautiful, great. The Ghost Cipher, however, is one where it's a different stylistic piece of art. Okay, and he's got powers I want to see more of. And I'm gonna vote on this one first. And I'm gonna say Ghost Cipher purely because I truly believe he's got something that we have not seen yet unleashed in the game. He's unique, and he really, really, really could use a nice upgrade to the art too, so we can really see more of what he has to bring to the world.
Has to offer.
So I'm gonna go purely on the art that I think probably leads to the more powerful character.
Okay. Brandon?
I don't know. That's a tough one between the two. I think I might have to give it to Ghost Cipher as well.
Really?
Because if he does have some sort of power with fire, then steam's not going to do much against him.
Right. True.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. I'll give Edge Hunter some love and vote for Zone Wraith though.
All right. Zone Wraith, good try.
Last but not least,
We've got a Quattro. Now this one is interesting.
There's a Genesis Mind.
Genesis Mind. Whoa. Holy moly.
very strong move cards, swap cards.
But one's a killer more than a mover.
Yeah.
Can you really?
Quattro can
Can
have
I-
4 of himself to overwhelm Genesis.
It's,
Possibly. Genesis Mind's pretty big though.
Yeah.
Like I would envision they as like so maybe 9 feet. Like in,
Yeah, he's
in
a
diameter. It's
big-
large.
and
or-
has and
yeah.
obviously has a gravitational capability to
Yeah.
stay afloat,
Right. Yeah.
which is kind of difficult to imagine.
It's like
Very powerful engine.
the ultimate smart drone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty large.
They're run by is that ion carbonate that they're injecting into him when he fills up.
Sounds like the gas station. Fill her up.
So Quattro has actually had a art update.
He's pretty powerful.
He's pretty powerful, and kind of like I'd say a lot of the game mechanics, the level of a legendary card was all based on Quattro and his capabilities because he's easy to measure what he can do.
Yep.
So a 4-card move could be equal to this many points, and we know that Quattro, we can base everything from him. He's a core card in the game.
Probably like the if not one of the leaders of Alpha Guard. You know, like the behind the scenes Quattro's pretty much running Alpha Guard.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Quattro. I can't take him out this early in the tournament. I don't know who would really win in this matchup. It's difficult, and you might vote a different way. I'm just, because it's so close, I'm gonna roll the dice. Where are they? And it's gonna come up Quattro. Look at this. Quattro.
Cloud?
Yeah,
Oh.
it came up Cloud Echo, and mine was to see who lost. So Genesis, mine, you're out of here. Quattro gets the vote. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Quattro would be. I think he would be strategic enough to use his abilities to outsmart Genesis Mind.
Yeah.
Even as powerful as Genesis Mind is.
Okay. So, is that the vote?
I would vote for Quattro, yeah.
All right. So Quattro is in.
Yep.
All right. So let's go back through these. Why don't you run us back through them?
So, in terms of the winner?
Yeah, who's the winner?
So we have the Dark Angel as the first one, and then it was the Compromiser.
Yep.
Through.
And then I believe it was Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, yeah.
That was next. And then
No, Omega. won that one.
Omega.
I can, I can run them down for you.
Oh, that'd be even better.
Sweet.
So then we have Risk. Then we have Metalbone.
Okay.
Then we have Arrow Volterra. Absorption. Blue Burn. Particon. Dead Speak. Silverblade. The Messenger. Chained. The Ghost Cipher. And Quattro.
Perfect.
Nice.
So we are into round 2, and round 2, you will not believe how. So we're going through this, and we took a quick pause, and we kind of counted everything up, made sure all the matchups were there, and we realized we have 3 Dawnlight, 3 Alpha Guard, 3 Razor Core, 3 Shadow Cell, 2 Cloud Echo, and 2 Edge Hunter that advanced.
Super balanced.
Super balanced and completely
Unintentional.
and that is really awesome. So, as most people would agree, the balance in the game is balanced, but the art is also apparently balanced. So, congratulations, all of us.
Balance art, balance powers.
All right. So, first matchup is going to be the Dark Angel versus the Compromiser.
Ooh.
We'll take turns going first, and Brandon, you got to go first this time.
It's a tough one.
I think I'm gonna give it to the Dark Angel again.
Okay.
Yeah, thinking about their abilities, as much as I love that cat, I'm gonna give it to the Dark Angel.
I'll give it to the cat. Second matchup. I have nothing more to say about that. And I'm rhyming. Oh, wow. Green eggs in hand.
Yeah, good timing.
All right. So, very funny.
You should give me money.
You
can't stop us.
Let's stop. Please, pause. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go.
Too many puns.
All right, enough. Here we go. Scarecrow versus Omega.
Omega.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, this is a good one. I think Omega would be pretty fearless in the face of Scarecrow. Literally.
Okay.
And figuratively.
And?
But
And
yeah, I would vote Omega.
Yeah, I'm going to totally agree to disagree with you and go Scarecrow. I think Omega is the one thing that might be her weakness, is that looking in the face of Scarecrow can really affect everybody. And as much as she's
That's a
got
good
the
point.
powers of
Yeah.
all these powers, where is her where is her kryptonite? I would almost venture to say that Scarecrow might be that kind of character. She's got electricity, she's got power, she's got arms coming out of her back, she's got a club that can reach a mile, and then she looks at Scarecrow and just wilts. I just see Scarecrow he has a power, and that might be the one thing that she can't do. You know, like an Echo might be a bad matchup for Scarecrow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But she, being the divine Omega, you know,
Scarecrow uses your greatest fear.
exactly
right
against
you.
yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I think I'll give it to Scarecrow on that. As much as I would like Omega to move forward.
Good. I think that's a good choice. A good matchup,
Yeah,
actually. An
yeah.
interesting matchup of powers there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next up, we've got a Risk against Metalbone. Whoa.
Two killers.
It makes you go, and when you see these matchups, it makes you go, ooh,
Right.
oh.
Then you're like,
This
oh,
whole-
well, that's easy.
These sounds start coming out of you. The more
whole
little
process,
sounds,
yeah.
you know, when you see these matchups, I am
The funnier it is.
I'm trying to process this one myself.
I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
I think it would be a great matchup. I'm gonna give it to Metalbone,
Okay.
purely on he's got he's got size, weight, and a laser beam. And I think Risk would have a lot of trouble with Metalbone.
Probably.
So I'm gonna vote Metalbone.
I'll let you go.
It's tough. Risk, you know, it looks like she's got that heated blade, which should be able to, you know, cut through metal, but that's if Metalbone needs to get close. So it's like, I think I'll just give it to Risk. That way you have to make the final decision.
Yeah. Well, I can't, in good faith, vote Risk when Metalbone took out, what was it, Obsidian?
Yeah,
Is that
give
who
it
it
to-
is? So I can't possibly give it to Risk, even if I'd want to, because I need someone else to be able to take out Metalbone with a power that is better than that.
Yeah.
So I've got to say Metalbone. And who will Metalbone match up? It'll be the next matchup. So Metalbone will be facing off with either Air Voltero or Absorption. See a double.
I feel just still again based on his speed that Aero Voltura might have the upper hand.
Absorption can absorb, you know, energy. She can do stuff, but if you can't be
If he-
caught
Yeah, if you
Right.
by
can't
that
catch him.
that mind trap, by that physical trap, it's going to be difficult for her. She's very good, but he's got something that matches up really well against that. And who did he take out? Silent Wave. Again, a wave of power. If
Right.
he can beat that, Absorption might not be the matchup to take him down.
yeah,
So yeah,
We're all in agreement?
yeah.
I would
I
vote-
think we're all.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we'll vote
three for Aerovotero, and I will say the next
I think-
matchup between him and Metalbone,
I think that'll be.
Ooh.
that one
That's
could
gonna be a
be
tough one.
that. Yeah. So good luck, community, deciding that.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got a Blue Burn Particon. Yeah. What are you thinking? I mean, these are getting really tough. I
Yeah.
mean, we try to do our best to give a true insight analysis in ourselves to say which one would really do it. Blue Burn, what does he have? That control to take over someone else's power.
Right.
Well, Particon, in many ways, is got lots of different things going on because of what he is, and the powers and the things he's got attached to him.
Yeah.
So I would in this particular case, I mean, he took out the Grey Shepherd. Grey Shepherd had power. Wasn't that Grey Shepherd he beat?
Oh yes, yeah.
So I'm not gonna let Blue Burn do what Grey
No, Blue
Shepherd
Burn
couldn't
was
do.
Brute Sparrow.
Yes, but Grey
Right.
Shepherd was taken out by Particon. So
Oh, yeah.
given that this is another kind of physical power overload, not like a direct, like a gun
Well,
or a
Blue
laser
Burn does
or
have
anything
some
else.
sort of powers in his
He
hands,
does, but
so
he's not using that. I think they're more
Right.
control of like pulling
It's
something
the
from someone
absorbing
else.
the power.
Right.
That's what
Right,
it is.
yeah.
And so that, in my opinion, doesn't do enough to take out Particon now that he beat my Grey Shepherd. So I'm going Particon. I'll let you guys make the other, if you want to overturn my decision on that.
Yeah, I think because of Blue Burn's powers, I'm gonna vote Blue Burn. I think
Okay.
the ability to almost look ahead and return his enemies' powers against them would give him enough of an edge.
Okay.
Whereas again, I'm thinking, yeah, just kind of a scrapper that Particon is.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
All right,
I'll
well, there
vote
you go.
Blue Burn.
All right. Well, so then the thing is, does it devolve into a fist fight? Because none of them have like any sort of weapons. So I guess that's really.
Hey,
what
Brandon's
comes
always trying to see if it just comes down to a fist fight.
I
It's
mean-
not. Forget the powers. Like my battery pack just ran out,
Well,
and
yeah,
and
so-
and my oil. I'm running low on oil. Can we just fight it out, please?
down. Well, like what? Does Porygon have
he's
like?
very physical, but
Yeah,
I would imagine
He's
if
more clunky.
He's got some scanning or targeting capabilities with his eye.
Okay, but does he have
But I think
a
he's more
weapon to use
he's
that
more
with?
clunky than others. I'm giving him the
Yeah.
vote, but he's more clunky. If it came down to that, I'd still probably go. If it was only that, I might shift to Blueburn a little, only because I feel Particon has got all these pieces. It doesn't make him fluid and
Yeah.
smooth. But in a
But
non,
he can take a lot of damage.
I think
Yeah,
from a
that's a good
that's why I
point.
think he would win personally overall. But Blueburn, if he did wear him down, Blueburn would probably win. But like I said, we went Blueburn. We can't say anything. It's all up to you. Or you can roll the die.
I think I'm gonna roll the die on this one.
All right, here it comes. Is it going to be Blueburn or Particon?
Nothing yet. What do we got? We
Looks
got
like
Blueburn's
Blueburn.
gonna pass forward.
All right,
Blueburn wins.
Blueburn's the winner. Particon, sorry, buddy. All right, next up, we have a matchup of Deadspeak and Silverblade. Well, doesn't she get she continues to match up against the
the
zombies?
dead, against
What
the
the
dead.
hell is this?
So he.
I don't know. You start, Brandon.
This is a
I
tough
think I'm
one.
gonna have to give it to Deadspeak because of his powers we talked about earlier. If he can zap her or whatever he's got,
Well, he's like a zombie. He's like a zombie on
meth.
Yeah, like
steroids,
super zombie.
crack, any bad
He's on
politically
drain.
incorrect term. Deadspeak versus Silverblade. Like, Phobia is like the lower end version of Deadspeak. So, like, is his raisin? Can she take out Phobia? Yes. Now she's up against Deadspeak.
Yeah, I think because I'm thinking about like some of her tech, and especially like supplies that she might have in her backpack. Yeah, I think it would be a good matchup, and I'm gonna vote Silverblade.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be tough, but I think she could survive.
Nah, I gotta go Deadspeak. Sorry. I thought about it for a minute. Sorry. I mean, really, I wanted to vote. I wanted to find a real reason to vote for Silverblade, and I like her. He's not, but then I start going back to the rule as well if I'm undecided on the powers matchup, because I'm thinking he's like the zombie leader. Like he's the top level guy. So, well, maybe with a team she could take him out. If she was
But
teamed up with
one-on-one,
another, like in an
okay.
Alpha Guard versus a matchup where she's leading the charge and Deadspeak is, she probably can win. She seems like she'd be more sophisticated as a team leader and other things.
Right.
But I think in a one-on-one, I just think he's more powerful. I mean, it just boils
fair
down to
enough.
that. All right, next up, we got the Messenger and Chained.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go chained.
I think so too. I want to vote the messenger, but I think I'm gonna go with chained.
It's takes out Cyclone.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
don't
if he
know
can
if the
take
Messenger has
It's
the physicality to take him out on.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's a matchup that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, this is not good too. It's not looking good for our women today. We only have the Dark Angel that has gotten through. I feel bad. This matchup, no, usually, like the last time, the women were all getting through, but maybe these matchups, we're not being sexist, I promise you. I mean, the Messenger is my favorite card. I will vote the Messenger only because knowing that I can't win the vote, she's one of the most incredibly gorgeous pieces of art that we have, but that's going down the drain. So Chained?
Yeah, she doesn't need to see.
Yeah, she
No.
doesn't need to watch.
Well, that's the interesting thing is, as we've always tried to figure out, will legendary cards just take over?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like right now we have 2 epics that got through so far. Last time we got a lot more epics.
Yeah.
And now we got one more matchup that includes an epic and a legendary. Now we have the Ghost Cipher and Quattro. Well, let's look at our count before this. We've got a Dawn Light that made it through. We've got a Razor that made it through. We got a
Cloud
Cloud Echo. We got an Edge Hunter. We got an Alpha.
A Razor.
Razor
and
again,
Shadow.
and a Shadow Cell. So every single one has a representation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this battle won't matter from a representation standpoint, just to see.
Ghost Cipher and Quattro.
There's just an appealing thing to do here is just look forward a little bit. Some people
Yeah.
wouldn't do it, but we can. We're allowed to look forward, and I'm thinking, who could fight Chained? Who would have a better chance against Chained? Wow, can you imagine a Quattro Chained matchup?
That would be great. Yeah.
Ghost Cipher Chained would also be great because Ghost Cipher has, I think, I'm going Ghost Cipher. I'm doing it because I have to do it before I think twice. Quattro will probably win with their votes, but I'm just saying the Ghost Cipher
That's a tough one.
I'm pushing for the Ghost Cipher. I want to see more of the Ghost Cipher. So for me, it's about the art, purely about what I want to see more of. We have two nice, beautiful skins of Quattro. In a matchup of physical stuff, I think they could face off very well together. Both are even. My vote's going to be purely on I want to see more of the Ghost Cipher. I want to know what the Ghost Cipher's all about.
Then I'll go Quattro because I think he would be better at fighting Chained.
Okay, so he's looking forward. I'm looking at art, and now
I'm
Josh has to
gonna
decide.
See what the dice.
Oh, no, yeah, this
Let
is
the
a
fates decide. The order of fate. Okay.
Yes.
We have Alpha.
It could be your vote out.
And
Could be. That's what Rain said.
No. I'm gonna vote for Quattro.
He's voting for Quattro.
I think.
I wanted new art. For
Yeah,
him.
I like as much as I like Ghost Cipher, and I agree. He could use a new skin.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: Quattro should have gone off. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I think
agree. I
Quattro's
want the
powerful
skin, but I figured it was going to come down to Quattro. We let the dice decide, but Quattro skates by. So here we are. Final matchups are going to include the Dark Angel versus a wonderfully scary Scarecrow. We've got a Metal Bone Aerovotero matchup.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be a good one.
A Blue Burn Dead Speak.
That'll be
Whoa.
a great match.
Yes, that is really good. And then a Chain
Chain
Quattro.
Quattro.
You can't
Yeah.
really go wrong with these matchups, but I do not envy the community trying to decide these. We can't say anything, but I would say every one of these matchups is going to be difficult to decide. I mean, think of it this way. The Dark Angel, like the angel versus the Scarecrow, the demon. I mean, literally, you got the opposite ends of that
Right.
spectrum. You got the speed of Aerovotero and the lasers and distance and strength of Metal Bone, which we never saw anyone face Metal Bone with the
With
speed.
that speed,
The
yeah.
Blue Burn and Dead Speak both mind control and physical control powers between each other.
Right, yeah.
And the Quattro speed and multiplication of himself
Yeah.
versus the chained speed and chains.
And it's like they both have tech for that last one.
It's a
Yeah,
very
that's-
incredible final 8.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
please vote away. This is going to be an awesome number 2, series 2. So let's see who's going to go to the finals with Echo Strike, and away we go. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you
Josh.
next
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, producer.
Hey, see you later.
Peace out.